Good evening. My name is Raymond Mooney, and I'm here to talk to you this evening about why it's important to support each state's right to utilize capital punishment. Since the beginning of time, some form of the death penalty has existed. It has proved to be one of the most effective methods of punishment given by a governing body. In my opinion, the death penalty is something we need to continue to utilize because it aids in lowering homicide rates. It's definitive and gives closures to families and keeps the worst criminals out of our society. How do you feel about the death penalty? Would you feel differently if one of your family members was murdered? Any one of us could be the family member of a murder victim or even the victim of murder ourselves. Capital punishment has been proven to deter violent crimes because of the fear this threat instills in criminals. I'll begin by telling you about the need to support capital punishment. People throughout the United States, including the citizens right here in Delaware, support capital punishment. The support stems from how justified capital punishment is. Capital punishment is effective in permanently eliminating the threat that a certain individual may pose on society. When there are constant appeals in court, there is always a possibility that after some time in jail, a murderer may be released and allowed to once again roam our streets. With DNA testing becoming more accurate, it is eliminating the chance an innocent person may be sentenced to death row. And when someone is sentenced to death row through the justice system, it isn't just any crime. The charges are usually premeditated murder and some of the most heinous crimes one could ever commit on our society. There are different types of execution styles that can be evaluated and utilized, making sure that cruel and unusual punishment can be avoided. The most common type would be death through lethal injection, which uses a systematic process of injections to ensure that in their last seconds, pain isn't felt. Other types consist of electrocution, hanging, gas chamber, and even the firing squad. While these methods are not used as often because they are outdated and not widely accepted by our society, whereas lethal injection is effective and quick. There is currently 32 states that use a death penalty, and all of those states have lethal injection as their primary means of execution. Only a few states continue to even offer other means of execution. The opposition usually says that the death penalty has no deterrent effect on the population as a whole. Yet while in court, murderers would prefer to have a lifetime in prison without the opportunity for parole over the death penalty. Doesn't that alone show a fear that can be in turn used as a deterrent? When people look at crime rates, they state that the crime rates have gone up, so that proves that the death penalty has no deterrence, but that in relation to an increase in population, making that point irrelevant to the death penalty. With the evidence that supports capital punishment, it is apparent that it proves to be an asset to the justice system. Capital punishment is a deterrent in our society and is not done hastily. In order to be dealt this punishment, the crime must be heinous and the evidence has to definitively prove that the person being sentenced is the criminal, and the DNA evidence has been doing that effectively. Capital punishment will continue to be a deterrent even as the population grows because everyone has the capability to be a criminal. It doesn't mean everyone will be, and that is because they know the punishment, and just the thought of the death penalty will keep them from committing the worst of crimes. Supporting capital punishment is what you all should do. The fact that anyone ranging from a stranger to a loved one could be killed due to the acts of a repeat offender should be enough motivation. Supporting a cause that is as pressing as this one could help save a life, maybe even your own. Support is a necessary thing for a topic, and we need to start getting behind the things that matter the most. Innocent lives are what matter the most. It's as if you are on the other end holding the rope and someone is dangling on the other end, and you're either going to pull them up or let them go. Someone's life could be in your hands just from the side you choose to support today. Make sure you pick the right one. I thank you for your time, and have a good evening.